Son, the Holy Ghost in me.
Hello everyone, welcome to another End Times 4565 video, and I'm running a little behind, but as you can see, I'm having a few issues, but it's okay. This is going to be the Poleshift video for today, and then I want to discuss another one after this. So let's get this one done as much as we can, although I realize it might be a little long, but I'm going to do my best. These are the latest earthquakes. I have it set at 2.0 and greater. And once again, we can see a huge silent earth with respect of Puerto Rico and Mexico, Central America, and Southern California, which seems to be certainly on the uptick. And over here on this side of the planet, we certainly see more activity, as the latest one here is a 4.9, and we see Japan, and these earthquakes here, once again, it seems to be lacking. Of course, we have another one here in Greece, and if I show you the 7-day quakes, you can see today is still early, but notice here in the Indonesian area and Australia area that there is extreme uptick of deep quakes, and these deep quakes are significant in that they move over, and of course I want to show you this, and you can see here these quakes here are very large and pretty far off of the planet, and what this activity is doing, it's going to migrate in an easterly fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, you see here how deep they are by how far they are off the globe, and so it's going to migrate east. So there's nothing here. This Mid-Atlantic ridge is about to start back up again, and you notice in South America these are all red and orange because these are older, and so if we go to the last three days, we can see that there's only 3 quakes here that were 3 days old, and if we go to the last 24 hours, which apparently it's not going to do right here, we can see there's a silent zone in South America thus far today, except for Puerto Rico and Central America. And so we can see that the earthquakes have not slowed down. In fact, they're on the sizable increase. There's another deep one here. I don't get too much into particulars. You need to see them, and you can see that there's definitely an inner crust pressure building in the planet. And so with this earthquake list being said, now if I was going to make a forecast, which I usually don't like to do, I like to just show you what's already happened. Don't like to speculate, but in the next 24 to 48 hours, ladies and gentlemen, we need to watch South America very close for a deep quake, a large deep quake, and we also need to watch this Mid-Atlantic ridge for a moderate quake. I would say in the 5 to 6 point range, anywhere in this Mid-Atlantic ridge. Anywhere in this Atlantic area here is going to truly affect the Puerto Rican area. And so with that being said, let's go. Okay, now we're going to go here, and we're going to talk about the Earth wobble and Earth tilt. And this is the latest update. This was the last year, the year before, and the year before that. And we can see that once again, even though these two are close in the same proximity of the circle, we see a 4 or 5 day difference. So one can readily assume that the Earth is slowing in its a bit in its rotation because it's not keeping up. And when we were here, we said, well, it would be like a marathon. I mean, like a track runner. The further out you are, the slower it seems. But still, here on this 18th update, we see that it's close enough to the same last line perspective that one could say that more than likely it would not be the geometrical effect of the outside lane of a circle too close. Thus, I say it's a slowdown. And it could be a 2 or even 3 day slowdown, but time will tell. But I definitely see it. And I'm not making it up, I'm only telling you what I see. Okay, we're looking here. This is once again the guesstimated path. The guesstimated path, and so far it's standing close to this guesstimated path. But we'll see as we come to November and December what's going to happen. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, November and December are certainly going to be very interesting in the aspects of what's going to happen to the Earth in relation to the incoming object, not to count what man is doing to ourselves on our very own planet. Remember, there isn't a dang thing we can do about the incoming object. There's nothing that anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. All we can do is watch and wait for it, ladies and gentlemen, but it is approaching. Now, with that being said, let me continue to bring an uprise in your curiosity with the next event. Now, my computer's dragging a leg, but it's okay because I'm pausing it. I've outsmarted its slowness. Now, this next image that I have for you here is the sulfuric gases, the volcanic gases, latest Earth image. And once again, we can see that Puerto Rico area is continuing to grow here and here, and the Bahamas. And so also we see that indeed the trade winds are beginning to, even so that it's blowing the SO gases out across the Caribbean. Of course, we know this is volcanic, and this is volcanic, and this is volcanic, and this, but notice how these two in South America are not being blown with trade winds, except for this one's coming across the continent. But this would be the area I would be watching for the next 24 to 48 hours if it were me. And of course, Southern California, you see the SO gases are continuing to accumulate, and also in the northwest. And tilting the map just a little further, which I could show you a reference to the Earth tilt here, but I don't go into that right now. Of course, we can see in the Aleutians and in the Alaskan Gulf area here that there continues to be a darkening and a thickening of the SO gases, or the volcanic gases in this area, that are coming from underneath the water. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is very interesting. Also, could be coming from the coast. And you say, well, this is all factory. No, there's no factories here, ladies and gentlemen, that could cause this. This is a natural phenomenon, along with here at the end of the Aleutians, we see one there. Not to discount, there it is right there, ladies and gentlemen. It's the New Madrid fault area. And you say, well, I live in Texas and live in Houston. There's no such a thing as all this stuff going on, but you're wrong because you can see just from the SO gases along this New Madrid fault line that something is in the works, as well up in the tip of the Great Lakes, ladies and gentlemen, and the East Coast, the Northeast Coast. So these images are not fake, nor are they false. They are factual, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, once again, add that to your pot as we cook this up. And now let's have our next ingredients. Ladies and gentlemen, this next ingredient is going to be a image of our magnetosphere. And what this is showing us is the direction of the interplanetary magnetic field and the solar wind, along with the plasma in space, plasma, helium gases, and those sort of things. And actually, all of these arrows, every one of them should be going in this direction, from a sun, away from the sun direction. But ladies and gentlemen, it hasn't been so. It has not been so in the last week or 2 weeks. In fact, it's been very interesting. And matter of fact, we were hit very hard the other day with X-rays and cosmic rays that almost caused us to have quite a few catastrophes on the planet. It brought us right to the edge. But it was not yet. But it doesn't mean it's over, because plainly you can see it is not. Because these lines go this way, these lines go this way. There seems to be a pulling in like a vacuum area here in the solar wind, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, could not be any worse. And we see here that this right behind the planet is a strong stream away from the sun, such a strong stream through this plasma, ladies and gentlemen, that is causing a backwash and a cyclones in the solar wind and in the plasma. And what this does, ladies and gentlemen, it keeps our magnetic field in complete chaos. And with all due respect to CERN, this is a natural phenomenon, but what is causing it? I want to tell you 2 things here now. I want to tell you that the Earth is being tilted more in a southwesterly direction than it has been. It's continuing to be drawn. Remember, it's not what the Earth wants to do. So it's fighting against this outward pressure. This outward pressure is coming from somewhere. It's not just happening. Something is causing these effects, ladies and gentlemen. And that something is an incoming object. Now, even if you're not a scientist, and you say, well, how come you don't call it a name? Because it's called so many names. I know it as an incoming object. It's coming. It's very big. It's very large. It's approaching. You can't deny that fact. The mainstream media isn't going to talk about it, just like they're not going to talk about what's going on in the Middle East with Russia right now, okay? So, anything big right now, they don't want to pull away from the election, ladies and gentlemen. But as we approach November the 8th, it's going to get very, very interesting. So at any rate, here we go. You can see the backwash. Now, without hesitation, let's go here. This is the magnetic field as we see it here. Now, notice, remember I showed you the backwash because it's pulling so hard into this plasmic field that it's taken our closed loop and stretched them way beyond the graph, ladies and gentlemen. And notice the southwesterly tilt to the planet now as the polar cap fields are being pulled. Remember, the black line is the polar cap magnetic field. This is the South Pole. This is the North Pole. Now take a look at this South Pole, which is, by the way, where our incoming object is approaching from. And notice the field as it pulls out and slingshots all the way around until it comes around this side. I want you to notice these are not going this way, ladies and gentlemen. This magnetic field is going this way. See it here? See it here? See all these? Well, you would say, well, they're going north here. No. If we could look at the graph, we would see that it is rotating around and coming around and being drawn down, drawn down, drawn down, pulling it, coming around and pulling it in this direction. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute signature sign that there is a force on the southwestern side of our planet, ladies and gentlemen. It's right here. There it is. And just in case you, let me move me up here. All right, you want to see the pictures? Let us go ahead and play it so you can have it for your watching pleasure. Okay, it's not wanting to play, but it's okay. I'm not sure why. Let's see. Oh, okay, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I got it. Come on. Okay, so I might have to pause it to make this happen, which I didn't really want to do, but at any rate. Oh, looks like I was successful. Okay, so you see this one is a broken line right here. It's coming up, it's pulling, it's twisting. Let me get the timestamp for you so you can have that. There you go. And so you can see how it's bending back and pulling down here and here, ladies and gentlemen, and here. And notice the shifting to the southwest as the earth is being pulled in this direction now. It was in this direction, now it's being pulled in this direction. And so as we come around the sun, it's going to change the direction of pull. In the spring, we were on this side of the object and it was pulling the earth down this way. Now we're in the fall and winter, it's going to begin to pull us this way. Now, the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring this up. It's disrupting our magnetic field in a really big way. And you say, well, how do you know that? Well, because I can prove it, and I'm going to do that. Everything I've been saying has been right, okay? And here's what I want you to see. See, I'm trying to get this streamlined. Now, here's what I want you to see right here. Let me show you this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, issued on October the 13th was this new executive order coordinating efforts to prepare the nation for space weather events, or anomalies, whatever you want to call it. And so I don't really want to go through this whole section, but I mean, you know, this whole executive order, you can look it up yourself. Here's what it says. Section 1. Policy space weather events in the form of solar flares, solar energetic particles, and geomagnetic disturbances occur regularly, some with measurable effects on critical infrastructure systems and technologies such as global positioning systems, satellite operations and communication, aviation, and the electrical power grid. Extreme space weather events, those that could significantly degrade critical infrastructure, could disable large portions of the electrical power grid, resulting in cascading failures that would affect key services such as water supply, health care, and transportation. Space weather has the potential to simultaneously affect and disrupt health and safety across the entire continents. Successfully preparing for space weather events is an all-of-nation endeavor that requires partnerships across the governments, emergency managers, academia, the media, the insurance industry, nonprofits, and private sector. Well, that just is everybody. So what this executive order, ladies and gentlemen, is a warning. And the warning is, see if I can find it here, a specific time of all these things that they want to do. And the specific time is, let's see if I can find it here. Well, I wish I could find it quicker than this. Okay. And so, at any rate, from the time of this order, the implementation is within 120 days of the date of this order. So I looked it up, and that's going to be somewhere around February the 11th, 2017. So they want all this done by February the 11th, 2017. Is that because April 2017 is going to be significant, ladies and gentlemen? Or is it possible that an EMP attack could be imminent? Are we expecting some sort of an EMP, whether it's natural, made by sun activity, solar activity, magnetic field disruption, or man-made, which could be by nuclear weapons positioned up to 300 miles above the planet in explosion? What is it's A or B, but something is in the works. Make no mistake about that. No mistake about that. And with that being said, I'll try to post a link for this. But with that being said, let's quickly move on as 22 minutes have left us. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is the website of the Watchers, and the headline here is Planet 9 tilts the sun. Okay, now, what this is saying is that the sun and the solar system is being affected by this incoming object. Not just the Earth, ladies and gentlemen. And they're calling it Planet 9. Okay. I'm just calling it an incoming object. But you can see right here that the sun is having issues, and it's causing scientists to ask questions. And the only answer, ladies and gentlemen, is some sort of an object could be pulling on the sun. And I'm going to tell you something. If it's pulling on our star, it's pulling on us. And if you think for 1 second this Earth is stronger than this incoming object, you're wrong. And if you think I'm wrong, you're wrong. Just because there's no dramatic photographs of the incoming object doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You don't know if it exists or not, ladies and gentlemen. Because here's why. Because the government is going to suppress all kinds of information. They're already doing it. Listen, if people like Hillary Clinton can do the things that she's done and not be disqualified to run for the presidency, anything by this government is possible, including suppressing information. It says all the planets orbit a flat plane with respect to the sun, roughly within a couple of degrees of each other. That plane, however, rotates at a 6-degree tilt with respect to the sun, giving the appearance that the sun itself is cocked off at an angle. Until now, no one found a compelling explanation to produce such an effect. Quote, "It's such a deep-rooted mystery and so difficult to explain that the people just don't talk about it," says Dr. Brown and Richard and Barbara Roseberg, professors of the planetary astronomy. Now, he says because Planet 9 is so massive, it has an orbit tilted compared to the other planets, the solar system has no choice but to slowly twist of alignment. Okay? Slowly twist out of alignment, says Elizabeth, graduate student at Caltech, and that sort of thing, studying us in discovery. So here these professors, these people from Caltech are saying that, yes, the problem is Planet 9. Ladies and gentlemen, the Poleshift is in action. We are in the midst of a Poleshift. And I want to tell you something right here. We are very close to major Earth shifting. Now, somebody sooner or later is going to have to make an announcement about these things, and I don't know when and how they're going to do it, but they're going to have to do it pretty soon. And maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just let it all be a surprise. I know what's going to happen when the Earth shifts physically. Maybe you want me to do a video about that. You put that down in the comments below, and I can tell you the time of table of what's going to happen when this really begins to get rooted. When is it going to happen? It's already happening, ladies and gentlemen. Every day on the earth ticks, ticks, ticks closer and closer to the main event. Just like your life, brothers and sisters. Every breath you take, tick, 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 until the next major event, which will be your death. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care how religious you are. Every person, should the Lord tarry, every one of us will die. Fact of the matter is, there isn't anything you can do about that. Nothing. Tick, tick. It's coming. Your next major event could be at your doorstep. You need to seriously consider Jesus Christ as becoming your Lord and Savior, because time is running out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another End Times 4565 video. And I appreciate all of my subscribers. And I would once again ask you to like and share my videos, please. And I'm trying to get over this issue here on both of my hands and that sort of thing. And still, I want to end this video with another one of my songs. And this name of this song, I'm going to go ahead and give you the whole song, absolutely free. Absolutely free. Because it's not about money, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't write the music to sell. I wrote it for you to hear. And here's a good way for you to hear it. I close with the whole song, ladies and gentlemen, written by me, music and words, and recorded by me. Now is the time. Thank you.
Missiles are flying high, Satan is flying low, so you better be ready to go. Let's go. Let's go. The world is in a spin, trouble's coming to you, time and time again. Now is the time to be born again. Do it now, the world is about to end. seems to be the way to go. Don't you go, oh no, my friend, you're my friend. You know Jesus is the answer. He'll give you new life. He'll take you in. He'll take you in. Now is the time to be born again. Do it now. The world is about to end. So raise your hands and praise Him, for He is God's only Son. He's the only Son. Sing and shout the victory. Jesus is the one and the only one. He's the only one. Now is the time to be born again. Do it now. The world is about to end. I said smoking dope and drinking seems to be the way to go. Don't you go, oh no, my friend, you're my friend. I said Jesus is the answer. He'll give you new life. He'll take you in. Gonna take you in.